Welcome to the RECON Trader. In today's video, I will share with you my battle plan for the How to Grow a Small Crypto Trading Account Challenge. But before we get too far into the weeds, I want to make it crystal clear. Trading cryptocurrencies is extremely risky, and in reality, most traders will lose money. With that being said, this video series is being provided for educational and perhaps entertainment purposes only. At the end of the day, you should never risk more than you're willing to lose, and you are the only one responsible for the decisions you make. So, with that out of the way, I have actually funded a small account over on the BYBIT exchange, and the amount I actually funded was $500. And so the exchange and the account size were actually determined by you all over here on YouTube under my community page. I actually did a couple polls and asked you what account size you wanted me to start with, and 60% of you voted for $500, so that's the account size I will start with. Next, I asked you all which crypto exchange you would like me to use, and BYBIT received 45% of the votes, so that will be the exchange that I will use. Now, I do know a lot of you left comments asking me to use KuCoin. There were still more votes for BYBIT if you broke it out between these 239 votes, but perhaps because there was such interest in KuCoin, sometime in the future I may revisit using KuCoin. So with that being said, we can jump over here to my BYBIT account, and you can see my total assets that I have over here in BYBIT are 2455. Now the majority of that is in the spot account, and that is 1955. And then the derivatives account, which is the account I will actually be using for trading, I will be trading perpetual futures, and I will be using leverage. And you can see I have funded that account with $500. Now, for full transparency, if we come over here to recent deposits and withdrawal history, and I click on all, and then click on transfer, you will see the only transfer I have going into my derivatives account is that $500. And you can see that was done just under a month ago, so before this challenge actually started. And as this challenge progresses, I will continue with the full transparency on this particular account. So now that we have the starting balance established and in place, and we also have our exchange that we're going to be using, the next step really is to develop a battle plan. And in reality, I already have standard operating procedures in place for my larger accounts that I trade, so many of these principles will apply to the smaller trading account. But since I won't have the same firepower of my larger accounts, I will need to make some tweaks to these tactics. And if you're new to trading and you're looking to start out, really kind of the first thing you need to do is come up with standard operating procedures or a battle plan that outline how you're going to actually approach any of your trades. And that should outline how you actually ID targets and then develop your battle plan. Now, I basically ID targets from my RECON radar. There's only a handful of targets that I trade on a daily basis. I do not trade crap coins. In addition to, I don't trade just any random crypto asset. And by keeping my targets to a small select few, I am very familiar with their price action, and it makes it a lot easier for me to understand what's going on when I'm trading those targets. So when my day starts, I basically try to ID targets from my radar. I'm actually looking for some volatility out of those targets. I prefer greater than 50%. I always confirm if the price is trending or is trading in a range. I look at the momentum. For example, is volume spiking or is it fatigued? I ID support and resistance levels. That will come in handy when determining profit or stop loss targets. Now, something I consider with my larger accounts but won't be as important for the smaller account, as these will strictly be day trades and more than likely in the beginning anyway, shoot and loot trades. But I will check out the RSI to determine if it's overbought or oversold, and I'll look for bullish and bearish divergences. Again, on the small time frames, I'll be trading like the 5-minute time frame. This intel is not as important as the next bit of intel, and that is to verify if price is above or below VWAP. That will be very important for these particular trades. And then another bit of intel that plays more of a role in my larger accounts is I'll check key fib levels. that will not be so important with this small account. And then I always want to be aware of any catalysts like news or new partnerships or hacks that might help the price pump or dump in a shorter time frame that I'll be trading. Now, once I've ID'd a possible target, I need to decide what trading strategy I want to go with. And I basically have 4 go-to trading strategies. There's a couple others I use, but the main 4 I use on a daily basis are my breacher trade, shoot and loot, counterattack, and my range day trade. Now, for this small account challenge, I will more than likely be doing a lot of shoot and loot as I'm trying to build the account size. Now, last but absolutely not least, it should actually be first, is risk management. My main focus when trading is risk management. Not how much profit I can make, but how I can actually manage my risk. And I manage my risk mainly based on a risk versus reward ratio. And I shoot for a minimum of a 1-to-2 risk versus reward. I prefer a 1-to-3 or greater. And if we jump over to this chart, which is basically a break-even rate percentage based on risk versus reward, you can see if you have a 1-to-2 risk versus reward ratio, you only have to be right 33% of the time to break even. If you are right 34, 35, or 40% of the time, you're profitable. And so with that being said, the reason I prefer a 1-to-3 risk versus reward ratio is I only have to be right 25% of the time to be break even. And so if I'm right 30% of the time, and as you can see, that's actually less than a 1-to-2 risk versus reward break even percentage. If I'm right 30% of the time, I'm profitable. And with shoot and loot, there can be times with the volatility where you're getting a lot of misses, but those big wins end up paying off for those little losses. And as this small account challenge progresses, I will get into the details of all these different setups, my risk management, how I actually review the radar. I do plan to do some live streaming where I'm actually going through the battle plan, executing live trades. But for the most part, the live streams will be available to my YouTube channel members. Now, I will upload the recorded version of the live stream so you can watch it after the fact. Now, once I've ID'd a target, I need to jump over to my rules of engagement.
The code is more what you'd call guidelines than actual rules.
And these are basically guidelines before I actually pull the trigger. So I've ID'd my target from the RECON radar. I've analyzed the intel that we discussed earlier on the battle plan. I determine which tactical trading strategy to execute, whether it's shoot and loot or the breacher. Now I need to pinpoint my entry, my stop loss, my profit targets, and my position size. Before I ever enter a trade, I know what price I want to enter at. If I don't get that price, I don't enter the trade. I also know my stop loss and profit targets before I ever enter the trade, and that's necessary, obviously, so I can determine what my risk versus reward ratio is going to be. Once that's all in place, I check and see if volume is increasing or decreasing. I'm looking for actually an increase in volume for most of my trades. From there, I basically just observe the price action via level 2s. I'm reading the tape and I'm ready to pull the trigger. And so once I execute the trade, I continue to monitor the price action and I get ready for the disengagement part of my strategy. And the first 2 reasons I might disengage would obviously I'd get stopped out. Now that'd be automated as a stop loss, or my profit target is achieved. Again, that is typically automated. Now the next couple are manual, where I will actually click out of the trade, and that could be if the trend is broken. If I was going long and the trend looks like it's reversing, I might go ahead and click out. And I might have something like a 9 EMA. If the price crosses below that 9 EMA, I might go ahead and get flat. Also, because I am monitoring the level 2s and reading the tape, if I see any unusual activity over there, like orders might be lifting, or I might see a large order on the book that could block the price from moving in my direction, I might go ahead and get flat at that point. Also, if the momentum or the volume appear fatigued, that would be another reason to disengage. Also, I want to be aware of any breaking news or an upcoming Fed meeting. I don't like being in a trade during the Fed meeting, but I will often trade around the Fed meeting. And at the end of the day, I must exit all trades regardless of current P&L. especially on a small account like this. Now, on some of my larger accounts, I do have swing trades in place, but as far as a small account like this, they will be strictly day trades, and I must exit those trades before the end of my day. Now, once I exit a trade, I do need to complete an after action review, and I do that over here in my RECON Trader Journal. I will put in the open and close date of the trade. I need to select the pair from the pairs that I will often trade, and in this case, let's just say it was BTC USDT. My position size, the direction I was going in, that could be long or short, the entry price, the stop loss price, the take profit price, the exit price. Those are all things I need to input, and that will actually show you my risk versus reward for that particular trade. And you can see my risk versus reward was a 1 to 2, so that fit within my battle plan. And then I need to determine whether that was a win or a loss, and let's just say that's a win. It would be if I was actually going short and not long. And then I need to input the profit or loss amount. You only input whichever actually happened. In this case, let's say I made $50, and that would be a 10% profit on my beginning balance of $500. Next, I need to determine the setup that I used, and in this case, we'll say it was the VWAP shoot and loot, and then I can input any comments about the trade itself. Now, I will be keeping an updated journal on all the trades for this small account, and so that will be in all the update videos. So if you don't want to miss those videos, you might want to shoot that subscribe button. If you want to see a more detailed breakout of how I use this RECON Trader Journal, drop a comment in the comment section down below. So with that all being said, if we jump back over here to my BYBIT account, I will basically be trading the derivatives on the BYBIT exchange, and I will primarily be trading USDT perpetual contracts. The main two I really will be trading in the beginning anyway will be BTC and ETH. And so if we just click on BTC USDT, and that will bring me over here to the trading platform for BYBIT, and in this case BTC USDT perpetual contracts. Now, a few of the settings I will be using for this small account challenge. Obviously, I'll be using the trading view chart, and for the most part in the beginning on this small account, I will be using my VWAP shoot and loot strategy, which basically uses the VWAP indicator over on the trading view chart, and that is the yellow line you see running through the chart. And also I will be using a 9 EMA indicator, and that is the blue line you see running down through the chart. And I do have a video in my YouTube playlist on how I actually trade this strategy, so you might want to check that video out. I'll drop a link to that in the description down below. Now, a couple other settings I've already configured would be the type of margin. I have selected isolated. Now, isolated basically means that my risk will be limited to my initial margins. So, for example, if I execute a trade for, say, $100 of my entire $500 balance, only that initial margin of $100 will be at risk. Now, if I chose cross margin, then that would mean my full balance of $500 would be at risk. It certainly helps with your actual liquidation price to use cross. However, for my trading style, I select isolated as I want my risk to be isolated to my initial position size. Now, I've also already pre-configured my leverage that I will be using for the most part on this small account. Now, again, I want to stress using leverage is extremely risky, and most traders will blow up their account by using too much leverage. And with that being said, if you're new to leverage trading, you're probably best off not using more than 3x leverage. For this small account challenge, to keep things simple for me, I will be using 10x on both long and short positions. And so I think that pretty much wraps up the battle plan for this small account challenge. So if you don't want to miss update videos on how this challenge is going, you might want to shoot that subscribe button. If you like this video, do me a favor, spike a like. If you have any comments or questions, drop them down in the comment section down below. I will drop a link to BYBIT in the description down below. And so in closing, remember, never send your money into battle without first doing your recon. See you in the next video.